I didn't know you were going to be here today. You want to follow me in? I'm just going to, I was just going in to say hello again. We're on 54th Street between 6th and 7th. By the way. And it's unlocked before 11 a.m. When I first met the owners of Faces and Names, they came to Central Park looking for a caricaturist, and they found me and had an idea of doing something for the recessed squares above the bar. So I initially had an idea to do something three-dimensional, like sculpting caricatures, but it was a little too much work. So I did drawings of famous older people like Marilyn Monroe and people like that, interspersed with the owners of the bar. And then I had a little miniature bar made out of wood, and when they repainted years later, they took it down, so it's been down ever since. Then they were initially going to put landscape paintings up, and I suggested we do at least portrait paintings. If not, I had caricature paintings I could lend them. So we hung those up, and when they wanted to take them down, when I wanted to take them down, they wanted to keep them, so they bought them from me. So they've been here ever since for 13 years, and then they commissioned me to do different ones ever since. So we're going to go through those right now. This was actually the first painting that they commissioned me to do of the Rolling Stones. It's oil on wood. It's 30 by 36, and it's actually the most commissioned piece that I've done. I've done it at least 9 or 10 times. So take a look. This is a Bob Marley painting. It's actually a dimensional oil, so it's a heavy gel medium that's built up over time and then painted over in oil. This one's of Zhang Ziyi, the famous Chinese actress who was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And this is also oil, but it's dimensional in a different way. I used some gel medium, but also some wood filler, because it's smoother and her skin is smooth as opposed to the heavy gel medium, which gives a rough finish. And I used a piece of wood for the sword, the Green Destiny. This one is the second Christopher Walken painting that I did. It's also a dimensional oil built up with a heavy gel medium. And I also included in it a small cow drawing to represent the cowbell sketch from Saturday Night Live. Okay, this is Uma Thurman. It's an oil painting that I did at a party. I was commissioned to do it during the party, so it took 3 hours. I had no sketches, I just used a photo reference and worked directly. So it's a little bit different way of working. And this is the John Travolta painting. I did this kind of soon after Pulp Fiction, so it was in the 90s. And I wanted to try something different with the lines going through this way. It's a little more, I guess you could say, expressionistic. So it's a little bit of a different style. This one's of Steve Buscemi, which is an oil and charcoal on wood, and it's 30 by 36. And this is one where Steve Buscemi actually came in to see it after the cast of The Sopranos was in here and called him up, told him to come in and see it. I made him left of center for the obvious reasons. This one's of Sarah Silverman. It's actually an acrylic painting, one of the first that I did after about 20 years. And it's a little bit smaller than the others. This is one of the Rat Pack, and it's an oil, 30 by 36. It has a little bit different texture on it, and I made rectangles in the back to represent cards because they're cards, and I used to be in Vegas all the time. Here's my good friend Samuel L. Jackson. This is an acrylic and oil. I started in acrylic and changed my mind halfway through. I finished it with oil. It's on wood. It's about 3 feet by 4 feet. This is the Three Stooges, oil on wood, 30 by 36. Larry, Moe, and Curly. It's one of Willem Dafoe. It's a dimensional oil on wood, and it's 6 feet by 4 feet. Sinead O'Connor on canvas paper. Remember her? This is Tom Waits, oil on wood, and it was done very fast. This is one of David Bowie. It's charcoal and oil and some gold leaf, 30 by 36 on wood. This is one of John Malkovich. It's 3 feet by 4 feet, dimensional oil. And I did it from a Polaroid I took of the movie Of Mice and Men. So it's a very small, not the best reference. Yeah. This one is probably the most asked about painting in Faces and Names, and it's one of my ex-roommate Lindsay Nobel, who's a great artist. Originally we were going to do a trade, but I guess at first she didn't like it, and then came around to it later, because I gave her 2 faces, but it was just to show really 2 sides of her personality. She's a great abstract artist, and you can look her up at lindsaynobel.com. This is actually a Giclée print on canvas of U2, and it's 30 by 36, and I offer any prints on my website, danspringer.net. Any image you want, I can make a print of at a reasonable cost.